Newsbreak, brought to you by National Mutual.
Good evening, I'm Peter Hitchener. Federal Liberal Party President Tony Staley has called for a shake-up of the party organisation, and he's admitted the jury is still out on opposition leader Alexander Downer.
With the Liberals preparing to celebrate their 50th anniversary, the party's federal president says it's time to reform a state-based organisation into a truly national party. That includes giving the federal executive much wider powers, including the removal of unsuitable election candidates.
When you get a candidate who it is suddenly known is a fright, a real worry in terms of the electorate, where there's some deep scandal.
And he agrees with former New South Wales Liberal Premier Nick Greiner's view that Alexander Downer has 6 months to prove himself.
What he said is only what the people say. They say we don't really know him yet. So, you know, fair enough. As he said, the jury is out.
But the latest Bulletin AGB McNair opinion poll indicates it may be quite a while yet before there's anything like a definitive verdict. The government remains ahead of the coalition, although it has lost some ground. But Mr Keating remains clear leader in the preferred Prime Minister stakes. Peter Harvey, Canberra.
The fiancée of murdered Sydney MP John Newman is in a serious but stable condition in hospital after a drug overdose. Lucy Wang was found in her Cabramatta home just hours after the Labor Party won a resounding victory in the by-election for her fiancé's seat. She apparently became deeply distressed last night after visiting her fiancé's grave. An empty bottle of prescription sedatives was found beside her bed. The Bureau of Air Safety has begun an investigation into the emergency landing of a light aircraft with 10 people on board in Perth this morning. The pilot reported a fault in the hydraulics of the Cessna Conquest shortly after takeoff and circled for more than an hour to burn off fuel. Emergency crews were on standby as the plane was forced to land without its nose wheel. There were no injuries. There's renewed debate about the monarchy in Britain with the publication of more extracts from the biography of Prince Charles. They reveal the prince had 3 separate love affairs with Camilla Parker Bowles over a 20-year period. The first when he was 23 and before she married, the second just before his engagement, and the third after he believed his marriage had broken down in 1986. And firefighters in Texas are still struggling to contain huge fires and a 32-kilometre oil slick threatening a delicate natural habitat near Houston. 4 oil and natural gas pipelines have now been ruptured, and it's feared others will be damaged by rampaging floodwaters heading for Galveston Bay. A brief look at the national weather now. Rain clearing in Brisbane, a shower or two for Adelaide, and fine in the other capitals. That's the news for now. Good night.
This has been a National 9 News presentation.